Hey folks, how y'all doing today? Y'all, this Diddy case is not just about celebrity scandal, even though it's scandalous. It's a mirror for power, abuse, silence, and the lies that we wrap in luxury. And today we're going to talk about it. Hi, my name is Vitorel Hill, and welcome to Safe Space with Vitorel Hill. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's get into all the things of the things. Let's talk about first this imbalance of power. I was listening to Cassie's testimony. I believe it was today's testimony, and she was talking about how Diddy was this larger than life figure, how I believe he met her at 17, but he first kissed her at 21, and she was confused and didn't know what to do. And I know it's so easy to be like, oh, she wanted this to happen. She was in alignment with it. She was a child. What did you expect her to do? And let's be real, this was Diddy. Did you expect her not to be enamored by him? And so I think that was the very interesting part of her testimony. And I'm glad she's being vulnerable and open, even though the defense could rip her to shreds by some of the things she's saying, by just stating the truth. And I think it's going to help a lot of people as they work out of their abusive situation to tell the truth. Some of these abusers you're enamored by, you're attracted to, you want them to like you. And that brings me to the second thing I want to talk about. I believe that Cassie was suffering from a scarcity of real love. You know how that is when someone gives you some kind of semblance of love, you jump onto that and you grab a hold of that and you don't want to let it go. Because she was saying things like, I wanted to please him. I really loved him. Throughout the abuse, the slapping and the dragging and the drugging and the days of freak offs that took days of recovery, she was able to say, no, but I loved him. And how anyone could hear her say that and say she's a pick me or she wanted to do it, I think is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Manipulation can make even toxic love feel like the only love you'll get. He controlled the way she looked, how she combed her hair, how she painted her nails, even breast implants. Good God. And think about it. When you're all toxic in your mind and full of this toxic love that you think is real love, there's a part of you that want to make these changes for your abuser / lover. Okay. Segment 3, part 3. This is the part that I don't think a lot of people are talking about enough. These kids in the courtroom. Like, why? I understand this idea that Diddy needs family support for optics. I get it. But your young girls should not be in that courtroom. I don't even know, and we won't even get into how complicit the kids are. Let's just leave them as kids for now. I don't know if the damage that's being done to them is repairable at this point, at this far in the game. Like, first of all, your father, you had to see some kind of violence, hardship, or something, and maybe even experience it on a personal level. And now your father's being dragged and all of his business is being told up under oath. There has to be this kind of mental war. Is it true? But I still love my dad. But if I really love my dad, should I still be faithful to him or should I drop out? And let's not even set to the side the point that he could literally be threatening them to act the part or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is generational trauma 101, 101. And it goes on and on and on and on. Now, is it to humanize Diddy? I believe it is. Or is it to show dominance? I believe that too. Like, either way, Cassie and every other person that's been abused or harmed by Diddy are not the only victims in this. The children are the victims. And I pray to God someone is taking care of them, getting them proper therapy and counseling, because their lives are done. You don't recover from nothing like this. And let's keep it about you. All of this happening before the age of 25, you're going to have all kind of attachment issues and love issues. All right, let's keep on going. Cassie is pregnant. This is more generation. This is more generational trauma. I believe she's 8 months pregnant or something like that. And she's having to carry that baby literally in the courtroom and relive all of her trauma. Now, those of you that are spiritual, and I believe there's some science to this too, that baby is feeling this. This is generational trauma before the baby even come out of her mother's womb. And I hope that Cassie and her now husband are thought-filled concerning this, because Jesus Christ, that baby gonna come out swinging, mad at the world, and nobody knows why. All right. The fifth thing, we're almost there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment if you're enjoying this. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. The defense. You know, and I can't fault defense lawyers. I mean, they're doing their jobs, but it takes a lot of gall to stand flat-footed in the courtroom and say, well, yes, my client is guilty of domestic violence, but he's not on court for domestic. He's not on trial for domestic violence. Do you know how much of a slumbag you got to be a lawyer taken up for who I believe is a criminal? He's not, he's innocent to proven guilty, of course. I think he's a criminal. You know how much of a scumbag you got to be to represent someone like that? And then the mental gymnastics and emotional gymnastics to stand there and be believable to the jury. Now, I thought the jury selection was interesting because, they got like masseuses and finance people and CEOs. There's a variety of jurors. And how are these people, what kind of lives are these people living where they don't know what's going on with this Diddy case? I just think, I hate the fact that defense lawyers are a thing, but they're doing their job. I can't hate them, but it's still a slap in the face to be like, well, he did whoop the hell out of her, but come on, man. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. I can't say anything about that. All right, final reflections. This is bigger than Diddy. Now, this is Safe Space. I talk about prevention, a kind of thinking that prevents people from being abused, and the kind of thinking that gets people out of abusive situations. And I want to say this. I wish this Diddy story was rare, but it's not. It might be exacerbated because, number one, it's Diddy, and the more money you have, the more options you have, the more you can cover up, the longer it can go on. But I believe this kind of abuse is happening in churches and schools and families, on the job, any politics, music, movies, entertainment, you name it, this type of abuse is going on. It just so happens that this is the public skeptical of something that is normal behind closed doors. And I want you to know that if you are in any kind of situation where your boss or your pastor or your teacher is in some kind of relationship with you, you are a victim, especially if you're underage, because of the power differential. Let me clear this up a little bit. That was a broad statement. I want to highlight the fact that if you are a student listening to me right now, why you're watching this, I don't know, and you're up under the age of 18 and you're having some kind of affair with your teacher, you're a victim and you don't know it. The pastor, you're going to a church and you're having an affair with your pastor and it's secret. They don't love you, male or female. They don't love you. You are a victim and you don't know it. And you, before it get too far, before more pain occurs in your life, need to get out of it. I don't want you all just to watch this Diddy case and think, look at that, when it could be happening right in your front door or literally happening to you. This story isn't about fame. It's about freedom, emotional freedom, mental freedom, the freedom to name your pain, as Cassie is doing on the stand right now. Believe your own story and get out before your soul don't recognize you anymore. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hey, and text V Terrell Hill at 833-458-3658 to be notified when I drop content like this and I go live. I go live Monday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Fridays, 6:30 p.m. If you enjoyed the show, the giving tools are below. You could choose either one. Until the next time, be blessed.